The lazy man, I am not saying this please, Vasishtha, the lazy man is worse than a donkey. One should never yield to laziness but strive to attain liberation, seeing that life is ebbing away every moment. One should not revel in the filth known as sense pleasures, as a worm revels in pus. One who says, fate is directing me to do this, is brainless, and the goddess of fortune abandons him. Now, this is also the case with all people who, in the material sense, have also gathered power and wealth. When they fell down once or twice, if they said, it is my fate, now I am doomed, they would not have risen. They would have been still lying there. The brave ones, in a different context, they are not beaten by anything, they keep going till they reach the top. Same you apply to the spiritual effort. When you are greater than those, while they are reveling in wealth, you are reveling in the giver of wealth. One who says fate is directing me to do this is brainless, and the goddess of fortune abandons them. Hence, by self-effort, acquire wisdom, and then realize that this self-effort is not without its own end in the direct realization of truth. If this dreadful source of evil named laziness is not found on earth, who will ever be illiterate and poor? It is because laziness is found on earth that people live like animals, miserable and poverty-stricken. As is the effort, so is the fruit, O Rama. This is the meaning of self-effort. It is also called divine will. Why? Because your will and the divine will are not from different sources. I am saying, when afflicted by suffering, people cry, alas, what tragedy, look at my fate. What is called fate or divine will is nothing other than the action or self-effort of your past. The present is infinitely more potent than the past. They indeed are fools who are satisfied with the fruits of their past effort, which they now regard as divine will, and do not engage themselves in self-effort anymore. Sometimes it happens that without effort, someone makes a great gain. You look at that and say, oh, look at his destiny. For example, the state elephant chooses, in accordance with an ancient practice, a mendicant as the ruler of a country whose king suddenly died without leaving an heir. This is certainly neither an accident nor some kind of divine act, but the fruit of the mendicant's self-effort in the past. Sometimes it happens that a farmer's efforts are made fruitless by a hailstorm. Surely the hailstorm's own power was greater than the farmer's effort, and the farmer should put forth greater effort. He should not grieve over the inevitable loss. If such grief is justified, why would he not weep daily over the inevitability of death? Everybody knows death is coming. Why are we not sitting, oh, death is coming, so I don't want to buy lipstick today? The wise man should of course know what is capable of attainment by self-effort and what is not. It is ignorance, however, to attribute all this to an outside agency and to say that God sends me to heaven or hell, or that outside agency makes me do this or that. Such an ignorant person should be shunned. What do you do with religions that teach so? One should free oneself from likes and dislikes and engage oneself in righteous self-effort and reach the supreme truth. knowing that self-effort alone is another name for divine will. We only ridicule the fatalist. That alone is self-effort, which springs from right understanding, and that manifests in one's heart, which has been exposed to the teachings of the scriptures and the conduct of holy ones. O Rama, one should, with a body free from illness and mind free from distress, pursue self-knowledge so that he is not born here again and again.